hello again from Little Scientists. This is Hayley Bates, and we have Leandro. Say hello, Leandro. Hello.
Hello.
And earlier on today, we showed you how to make a bubble snake. And right now, we're just gonna make a bubble snake. And I've got a nice Tupperware container to put it in. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna dye our bubble snake to make a rainbow snake. And we might even see, using our kitchen roll, whether we can actually make a print of it. So, Leandro, can you just hold up your equipment? So I made my equipment out of a funnel and an elastic bag and a chop cloth. And Leandro, can you just show us yours? Leandro made a funnel out of a plastic bottle because he didn't have one at home, a chop cloth and an elastic band. But if you don't have chop cloths, you can use a bit of kitchen roll instead. Okay? And you don't even need an elastic band, you can actually hold it. Okay, so here we go, Leandro. Oh, you're already ahead of me. You've made a bubble snake. Okay, I'm just gonna make mine. All right, and the question is, what shape are bubbles? What shape are bubbles?
Round.
Are they?
Round.
Okay, well that's true if I'm using a bubble machine. If I'm using a bubble machine, those are definitely round, aren't they?
Yeah.
But if you have a look, and this is where your food colouring can come in handy. If you put a drop of food colouring, now I'm having to use a pipette because I haven't got a decent food colouring. But if you put a little drop of food colouring in, you might be able to see, are your bubbles round? Now I'm going to show you mine, a close up with mine, and actually you might be able to see that they're not actually round, are they? What can you see, Leandro?
I can see they're not round.
Okay, so actually if we count the sides, and it's a little bit tricky to count the sides, but if we count the sides of our bubble, they usually come out as 6. So we had some bubble snakes and we tried to put a little drop of food colouring on, and we could see what shape the bubbles had formed, but nobody else could. So Leandro and I have had a chat, and we think that we might be able to show you in a different way. So what I've done this time is, and if you can see that, I've got some bubble mix, a straw, and a little bit of food colouring in there. And I've put it on a white background, which is actually a cloth that can soak up the bubble mix if I have an accident. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to blow into my bubble mix. Remember not to suck. Actually, do you know something? If you put a little hole in your straw, it means that you won't, if you forget and you do suck, it's okay because the bubble mix won't come up the straw. There we are. And that gives me slightly bigger bubbles, and so it's easier to see. You can also, if you've got some butcher's paper, which sadly I don't at home, but if you have some butcher's paper, you can put it on top of the bubbles and you'll get a nice bubble print as well. Now, if you can see on Leandro's, the bubbles that are forming are they've usually got 6 sides. They're usually hexagons. Isn't that cool? And Leandro, can you think of any other shape? Can you think of anything else that comes out as hexagons? Can you think, what have you got in your, I actually know what you've got in your back garden. You've got a beehive, haven't you?
Yes.
And what shape do the bees make with their wax? Do you know?
They made hexagons.
Yeah, they make hexagons. And hexagon is a really good shape. Oh, have you got some wax? Oh, brilliant. Oh, so you can see the hexagons. That's great. Oh, hey, I saw that. That was sneaky. Oh, you've got a sustainable straw as well, haven't you? That's good. I've only got a plastic one. So the hexagons are formed by the bees because it's a really good shape, because it does something called tessellate, which means that it fills up and that they fit next to each other without leaving any spaces. And that's a really good maths trick. Can you think of any other shapes, Leandro? Any other shapes that actually tessellate, fit together? What tiles do you have on your bathroom floor or on your walls? Do you know?
Squares.
Yeah, squares tessellate. They fit together without leaving any gaps, don't they? And rectangles as well. So all of those things, all of those shapes tessellate, and that's why that's one of the reasons why bees form hexagons, and that's why bubbles form hexagons as well. They fit together, they fill the shape up. If they were round, there'd be gaps, wouldn't there? And that wouldn't work.